Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Secretary, I represent the Port of Long Beach. I'm the co-chair with Randy Weber from Texas of the Congressional Caucus on Ports. Thank you for being here, and thank you for visiting our ports and really becoming so knowledgeable about our ports. I appreciate your efforts to ease port congestion and to reduce the costs for all American consumers. The IIJA Port Infrastructure Development Program, or the PIDP, is among the most critical tools to make freight move more efficiently, to strengthen our supply chains, and tackling the shipping costs. In addition to the legislation, measures like expanding gate hours at ports, pop-up container storage sites, ensuring more transparency and data for freight exchanges have been so important. And there are important signs of progress. For example, freight rates from China to the West Coast have fallen almost 50% in the last 2 months. I want to stress how critical it is that we ensure that the PIDP is allocated as quickly as possible, and that these funds support the electrification projects needed to increase efficiency and to reduce the environmental impacts which our higher freight flows have had on our climate and on our frontline communities. We also need to prioritize the funding available under Section 11402 of the IIJA to reduce truck idling at ports. Mr. Secretary, can you share more about what the administration is doing to prioritize these critical projects, to coordinate multimodal freight flows, and to reduce costs? And when can we expect funding to be awarded?
Thank you very much for the question and for the attention to the importance of efficiently and smoothly moving freight through our ports. As you mentioned, we've seen a lot of gains in terms of sharp reductions in the number of ships at anchor and in terms of improvements in shipping rates, although they are still, of course, higher than their pre-COVID levels, and we know there's more work to be done here. Specifically with regard to the Port Infrastructure Development Program, we're working to advance the 2022 funding as quickly as we can. We released the notice funding opportunity for that program within 90 days of the infrastructure law passing, consistent with the President's call to move quickly as part of the Port's Action Plan. We've also issued the amendment incorporating the funding from the Appropriations Act within 60 days of that legislation moving through. So now we've got the applications in, working diligently to review them and anticipate being able to announce awards early in the fall. And really look forward to the difference that can make in terms of our capacity and readiness at our ports. In the meantime, of course, we're not waiting for longer-term infrastructure upgrades in order to continue trying to drive progress in this regard. And I would point to measures like the creation of FLOW, Freight Logistics Optimization Works. This is a data-sharing platform. It's not mandatory. We're not ordering anybody to share anything. It's voluntary, but those different players, including private sector actors in different parts of the supply chain who contribute data, then get access to the benefits of participating in that system. We think it's going to make a big difference, and we're looking forward to having a prototype of that up later on this year. And our Ports Envoy, General Stephen Lyons, continues to work with all of the different players at the ports to spot and identify any and all issues that can be addressed in the near term, whether it's through federal action within our authorities or just getting the right players at the table.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and I yield back.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Representative Johnson for 5 minutes.
Mr. Secretary, first off, I would thank you for the positive comments